if I'm looking all sporty and racy, there's a reason. I'm dressed for the occasion. I'm here at the Madras Motor Race Track to drive a very hot hatch on a very hot day. Yes, this is the John Cooper Works version of the Mini Cooper. It is the quickest one yet, and we have a racetrack to drive it on, so what more can one ask for? How do you tell a JCW from just a regular Cooper? Well, there are loads of styling giveaways, and on our car, it was the red hot color of the roof, the side mirrors, the brake calipers, the badging and the slash that runs across the grille. The contrast really depends on what color you choose, and there's a lovely set of dual-tone 18-inch alloy wheels available as well, but Mini themselves recommend sticking to the standard 17 inches for better ride comfort on our roads. And finally, there's a bit of body kit which includes side skirts, sportier bumpers, a roof spoiler and centrally mounted chrome exhaust tips. This is also, of course, the facelifted version of the Mini, and that means full LED headlamps and Union Jack flags in the tail lamp graphics. Well, the interior of this car does scream sporty. There are a lot of accents in red all around the car, on the seats, on the dashboard, the lighting, the steering stitching, and of course you get all the additional features that you get with a John Cooper Works version. The facelift version of the Mini came with the new gear lever, which is also here in the JCW version. You also get the hefty bucket seats, which are manually adjustable, but they're firmer than the regular ones. Now, that's all because this car is meant to be an all-out sports version. You also get the heads-up display, the leather-wrapped steering with paddle shifters, stainless steel pedals, and the JCW logo on the door sills. For entertainment, you get the 6.5-inch display with Bluetooth and aux and a Harman Kardon system. But you can also opt for an 8-inch screen as a part of the add-ons. There are a variety of customization options which include contrast trims, Union Jacks, textured inlays, and a panoramic sunroof. However, the biggest difference between the regular Cooper and this JCW version, and the one that interested me the most, was under the hood. In this version, the 2-litre 4-cylinder engine has been up to 231 horsepower. And now it has 320 Nm of torque. That's a lot of punch for a pint-sized car. We had a test track to really push all those horses to their limits. The format for the day's drive was convoys of 5 cars each with an instructor in a lead car. But the good part was that the cars kept rotating, so you got at least one flat-out round at your pace with just the instructor in front. And that was the most fun part. The 6-odd laps flew by too quickly, and then it was back again to the pits. Well, they say this car feels almost like a go-kart to drive, and I'd have to agree with that because it's small to begin with, but once you get on the track and hands behind the wheel, it feels half its size. It just shrinks around you and it is so direct. The torque can be felt in a delicious manner as it shoves you back every time you flatten your foot. Now, this John Cooper Works version also gets the 8-speed torque converter auto used in the Countryman in order to handle the greater torque load. The good news is that it's a rather good torque converter. So I never really needed to use the paddles on the track, and it always kept pace with what was required, shifting up and down efficiently and quickly. But the caveat is that I was in sport mode. Well, there are different modes. There's green if you want to be economical, but I don't see why you'd buy a John Cooper Works version of a Mini and have it on green. There's mid if you're in the city, and then when you're having fun on a winding section of road or out on a track like this, there's sport, which just tightens up everything. Responses are extremely quick, and of course, suspension is extremely settled, so you can fly around a track and have bucket loads of fun. In mid mode, which is comfort in Mini parlance, it is also quite efficient and it would suit the everyday grind. But quite honestly, I didn't have it in that mode too long. Being a track session, it was all about sport. With that sport mode, you also get a nice guttural soundtrack from the tailpipes and the wonderful overruns spitting and hissing as you come down the gears. It all adds to the drama. It's so easy to push this car and go flat out. You know, the beauty about it is with your traction control system on, it's not completely oversafe. It still does let you have a load of fun. Brake hard into a corner and it will twitch a bit before it catches itself again and lets you push even harder. It may not be all smooth sailing and it does tend to get frisky, but that's what gets the adrenaline levels going even more. Despite its compact size, with this level of performance and only front-driven wheels, you can still push this car to your limits. While the tires may squeal in protest as you're winging it around the tighter bends, the levels of grip and the security that you get behind the wheel are what make it truly special. The steering is unchanged from the Cooper S, but it's just so damn good. It's sharp, it's weighty, and precise. And while the standard JCW gets stiffened suspension, our test cars were equipped with the optional adaptive suspension that lets you choose a softer setting out on the road. Well, I've had this smile wrapped around my face pretty much the entire day, and you couldn't see it under the helmet, but trust me, it was really there when I was flying around this track. This car is a hoot to drive. Not to say it looks really special and feels really special from the inside as well. It's packed with features. So if you're looking for a hot hatch, you needn't look further than the Mini Cooper JCW. But there is the thing that you'll have to shell out around 43.5 lakh upwards to buy one. Yes, that is a steep price. And while I'd like to drive this car out on a road to tell you how usable it is otherwise and how practical it may be for every day, what really strikes me is that this isn't a car that's bought with a practical mind. It's one that's bought for passion.